Hello everybody, my name is Obertron, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to install Arch Linux version 2021.06.01 with the KDE Plasma desktop environment. Now, you can do this in a virtual machine, you can do this in real hardware, but I'm just going to be using VMware Workstation version 16 Pro. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do here is, well, you're going to actually want to download Arch Linux. You can go to archlinux.org/download. Now, there are BitTorrent downloads, and there are NetBoot downloads, Vagrant images, Docker images, VM images on the GitHub. But, what I'm gonna do is download them from the HTTP direct downloads. There are a lot for your country. There's worldwide downloads too, but I'm gonna be doing mine in Canada, because that's where I am from. Now, you can do any of these. There are a lot for Finland, Ecuador, Hong Kong. There are a lot for Germany. But the one I'm using is csclub.waterloo.ca. So you can download the ISO from here. I already have the ISO downloaded. So once you have the ISO downloaded, you can flash it onto a USB, or you can burn it to a CD or DVD. But I'm just going to be installing it in a virtual machine. So we're going to click Create New Virtual Machine. Now keep it on typical. Next. Install a disk image file. Now click Browse. And now you can go to your Arch Linux ISO. Okay, so it's going to say could not detect what operating system is in this disk image. That's fine. Click Next. Now, guest operating system, go to Other. Go to Version and select Other 64-bit. Click Next. You can name this anything you want. I'm just going to name this Arch Linux YT for YouTube. Click Next. It's recommended to put this over 8 gigabytes, but the Arch Linux install is actually pretty small. So I'm gonna set it to 100 gigabytes for now. Now, you're gonna want to bump up the RAM. 256 megabytes is not a lot. I'm just gonna put it up to 4 gigabytes. Oh, of course, this depends on how much RAM in your host machine you actually have. I'm going to bump the cores up in my processor up to 3. You can click Close and click Finish. Now, it's going to bring you up to this screen if you're using VMware. Just click Power on this virtual machine. And this is where the steps for real hardware start. If you're using EFI/UEFI, it's going to look something a little bit different than this. A VirtualBox has an Arch Linux operating system option. Now this is the BIOS/master boot record menu. It's going to automatically boot. It's going to bring you up to this text screen. You could just wait. Okay, now it's going to be at this screen here. Now, well, I need to bring up my notes. What you're going to want to do first is type mkfs.ext4/dev/sda. Now, this is going to format our partition. Now, what you're going to want to do is type mount space /dev/sda space /mnt. It's going to mount the partition. So now, you're going to want to type packstrat like this /mnt space /base, no, not slash, space base linux -lts space linux -lts headers space linux -firmware space NetworkManager space Sudo space GRUB space nano. Now, I'm just going to check base, Linux LTS, Linux LCS headers, Linux firmware, NetworkManager, Sudo, GRUB, nano, and this looks good to me. So I'm going to click enter. Now this installs all the required packages to actually use Arch Linux. Now, it's going to take quite a while. It's going to install 137 packages, so I'll see you guys when it is done. Okay, so we're just done. I need to bring up my notes again. So what you need to do now is type gen FSTAB space dash. Now to type capitals in this, you need to do shift and then the letter. So shift U slash MNT space greater than space slash MNT slash etc slash FSTAB. Now FSTAB stands for File System Table. I'm not really sure what it does, but just press enter. Now type arch dash chroot space slash MNT. Now we're basically in a bash sort of prompt. So now what we're gonna want to do is type user add dash m and then type the username of the user you wanna make. So I'm just gonna type Orbitron. Now type user mod space dash a capital G wheel user. Actually no, replace user with the username you picked. So Orbitron for me. Now type system ctl space enable space network manager. Just like this. And press enter. Okay, so it did it correctly. Now type grub dash install space slash dev slash sda dash dash force. Now this is going to install the GRUB bootloader. Now if it brings up a screen like this, it is normal. Now type grub dash mkconfig space dash o space slash boot slash grub grub.cfg. This is basically just making a config file for GRUB bootloader. And type password like this, and then just type a super memorable password. Password. Just press enter. Type 1 2 3 4 5. I mean, you can type any password you want. This is just an example password I'm using because I don't know about you, but I don't really want to put my stuff into this, even though it's not really going to do anything. Now, type password, then the username you chose, and then put in your password that you want to use. And now it's basically done. Type exit, type umount dash capital R slash MNT, and then reboot. Now it's going to reboot the install of Arch Linux, and if done correctly, it should bring up a screen like this, GNU GRUB version 2.06. Now it is going to boot up a fresh install of Arch Linux here. Now just log into the root account and then type in the password. Now you're into Arch Linux. So now what you want to do is type expert editor in capitals equals nano semicolon space vi sudo. Nope, whoops. I meant to type export. There we go. Now, what you're going to want to do is scroll down until you see this. It says same thing without a password. Erase the space and the hashtag there. Then it's going to look something like this. You don't have to do it for this one. The one above. Just press Control X, type Y for yes, press enter, and then you're done. You can just clear the screen here. And now, what you're going to want to do, if you're going to want to install the desktop environment, is install a display manager. Now, the one I'm going to be using here is SDDM. So what you're going to want to do here is type sudo pacman dash capital S SDDM. press Y and enter. And I'll see you when this is done.
It's everything you needed to survive. The addition is the mission that you be accessorized, but it's all a pack of lies. You know that it's true. If you don't commoditize, tell me what would you do? Is everything you're wearing the extension of self? Every action that you're taking for progression of wealth? If you didn't have a color TV, how would you see? If you didn't have a social life, then who would you be? Cause everybody wants and thinks they need, whether internet, cell phone, or blood you bleed. But only one of the three is gonna keep you alive. Tell me, how far can you get without the car you drive? You tell us that we need it, but really...
Okay, now it is done. Now, what you're gonna want to do is install fonts. So the display manager will actually work. So, go to this page on the Arch Wiki, wiki.archlinux.org/title/fonts #font_packages. It'll bring you here. Now, there's some bitmap fonts. It doesn't have any like font smoothing or anti-aliasing. Latin script does. And there's also monospaced and sans serif. The font package I'm going to be using is Noto Fonts by Google. So type sudo pacman -S Noto Fonts. Now I just want to confirm that is the correct package name, and yes it is. I'm going to type Y and press enter. Now, the font's done installing. So you're gonna have to do system ctl enable SDDM. And now you can press Control Alt F2. Actually no. You can reboot. And then it'll bring you into the display manager. There we go. So now you're in. You can press Control Alt F1 to get out. Control F2. Okay. So now you can install a desktop environment now. For this tutorial, we're going to be using KDE. So what you're going to want to do is type sudo pacman -S plasma -meta space KDE applications -meta and enter. Press enter and enter. Press Y. And then there we go. It's going to install 771 packages. That is quite a lot. So I'll see you guys when the packages are done installing. Why should you care? Candy canes and apple pie make me wish that I could die. No one likes Christmas songs, so let's all sing along. I hate Christmas Day, I hate holidays. Hang my stocking by the fire and fill it full of coal. But Santa Claus isn't real, there are no flying reindeer. Only stupid children still believe in Santa. The North Pole is melting down, all of Santa's elves. Okay, so it is now done. If it brought up messages saying possibly missing firmware for module whatever, that's completely normal, it's fine. Now it's done installing KDE, so you can just type reboot. And this is what the display manager is for. So we could load up the desktop environment. So it is going to boot into SDDM, the display manager that we installed previously. And then from there we can boot up KDE. So now it's going to take a couple seconds to load in. So we have a little cursor. Now we can type in our password. Our super secure password. Now you can see it has sessions. So Plasma, that's ours. Press enter when you have the password in. Now there's the KDE cursor. And there's the little KDE boot screen, which means it is ready to go and it is done installing. So I'll see you when it boots up. And there we go. Now, if you want to change the resolution, you can go into settings. Actually, no. Yeah, settings. Then go to startup and shutdown. Just click OK. Go to background services, and then go to plasma. Actually, no. Go to K-Screen 2, click on it, click apply. Now it's not running. So now you can go back to display settings, go to appearance. Actually, no, not appearance. Go to display monitor, and then you can change the resolution to your heart's content, although there's limited choices if you don't install drivers. So I'll just set it to 1360 by 768, since that's a pretty good resolution. And now we have Arch Linux installed with KDE Plasma. I'll see you guys in the next video, and goodbye.